Hello, 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 everybody. Happy Wednesday. If you, well, I'm alive, so I'm just happy. Shoot, I don't care what's happening. I got breath in my body. I'm gonna knock you out.
Excuse me. I don't know how to turn it off.
You need that. You like that dude in that commercial where you like turn it to your parents. It's
Yeah,
up here.
no, it's connected. I apologize for that. My fault. I'll have it worked out before the next meeting. I apologize. Hold up. Can we see your shirt, Nikki?
Listen, I'm outside. It's
I
cold.
just want to see your shirt. That's it.
Hold on. So I'm gonna have to tilt the camera too. So I got my hold on. Sound like I'm. So I got my black spasm shirt. I don't know if you can see it because of the
Yeah,
reflection.
that's the 2020 Black Spasm shirt. Right.
And I got
Oh yeah.
my eradicate. I can't. It's a glare over here.
It's all good.
Sorry about that, y'all. As we showing y'all our clothes and everything. So the day after elections. What's going on? What is going on? I even said put it on do not disturb because we still hear your thing. She Thanks, Mama Ivy.
That's what Ivy said.
Yeah. So yeah, see, she says do not disturb. You can put it on vibrate though.
Listen, it's on all of that. It's coming through the computer. Ivy, what do we do about that?
Oh,
Yeah.
okay. Yeah, she has to. That's right. There's a certain way to do it. Okay. Anyway, we're gonna start with that, y'all. So day after election, first thing up is where do we go from here? Um, if you have voted or didn't vote, I'm interested to know what you guys think or how you guys are feeling. So let them rip, y'all, because we about to get into it today.
Yeah,
Um,
I think this whole process threw me off a little bit because I was hoping to grab my content from the results of the election, but what is it, day two? And we're still in this.
well, we knew it was gonna be tight. Y'all, let me know if you guys hear an echo, because I hear echo with me. I don't know if we get feedback from the max or what. But anyway, okay. So Yolanda says we still have work to do regardless of the election outcome.
I agree with that.
Oh, definitely, definitely. And Ivy says that Joe is about to speak.
Okay.
I am echoing. Dang it. All right, girly. Thanks for letting me know. So hold up. Go ahead and talk. I'm going to.
Ivy said folks showed their ass. Yeah.
Yeah, they really are. Hold on. I'm about to try and fix my mic. Go ahead and talk.
Well, Ivy, when you said folks showed their ass, what do you mean by that exactly?
Can you hear me now?
I can hear you now.
Is the echoing gone?
Echo's gone.
Yes. Okay, great. um Hey Karen, that's my homegirl from the UK. So it's late over there. So I appreciate you staying up to talk about the election. So this is my take on it. Um I feel that like you say, Les, the more things change, the more they stay the same. I look at it as this: white folks are scared. Okay, and it's easier, some white folks, not all. So it's easier to believe a mistruth rather than to believe the truth.
Mhm.
So it's easier for them to think that blacks are coming, Hispanics are coming, socialism is coming, and this, that, and the other. Um, it's easy to believe that than to admit the truth about everything that's going on. About the handling of the pandemic, about everything. So Karen's in the UK, so she was like watching half your country being cray cray. And that's from somebody who's not even, a U.S. citizen.
Right.
So Ken says, I'm here, and this election told me a lot about this country. Hey, Ken, for real, I knew that before the election. Like, I mean, all the election did was just, it just confirmed what I already thought, what I already knew. And Ivy is saying, and there are a whole lot of Black and Latino votes for Trump there too. So, I think a lot of it was for the Cubans, and the Cubans were believing, what the current administration said about Joe being a socialist and this, that, and the other. But this is why we say that you've got to do your homework, people. You can't believe everything that everybody says. I mean, you've got to do the research. You've got to find credible resources to find all of this information out. So this isn't a surprise to me. I know a lot of people were surprised. I can't even call it a disappointment because I was expecting it. You know what I'm saying? So it's like I said, it's easier for them to believe a mistruth than to actually believe the truth. So listen, this is what I say. When these folks ain't got no health care, when Medicare or Medicaid is gone and their taxes are through the roof, you want them, you got them. That's how I look at it. So they think that, because I'm white and this, that, and the other, and that I'm protected. No, don't. The part that blows me is that they don't even realize that they're being used.
Yeah.
They're being used. I mean, they're like cattle right now, and it's sad for them.
Yeah. I think one thing that we have to consider is the word propaganda. And a lot of them are being victimized by propaganda. So I don't think that this surprised a lot of black people, black folks. And when you see half the country that's actually voting for him, it shouldn't be a surprise whatsoever. And this is where we are. This is what I related to: Stockholm syndrome.
Mm-hmm.
Anytime, and I'm not talking about the wealthy. I understand why they're voting in their interest. I get it. If I can be shielded from paying, a huge amount of taxes, then cool, I'm voting for you as well. If I have money, what he says out of his mouth does not affect me in any shape, form, or fashion, because he's actually working, for me. But for the ones who are broke, in poverty states, we talked about that last week, and you're still voting for this, and then you have a problem with socialism. How do you have a problem with socialism and you're poor? So it's Stockholm syndrome. You are in love or infatuated with the one that's abusing you. Ivy said green votes green. You're absolutely correct. And something that we've been saying since I came on 3 weeks ago. You ready, Nikki?
Yes.
Master Flash and the Furious 5. You ready? 1, 2, 3, go. You ready? It's all about
money.
Ain't a
damn thing funny.
You gotta have
a con.
And this land
of milk and honey. Exactly.
It's a con. It's a con. So I advise people. I tell people all the time: don't get emotional about this. Don't get emotional. Don't cuss him out. He's doing what he's supposed to do, and he's doing a damn good job. I applaud him. I'm telling you. And you know what's even crazier than that? Is that we are actually watching this. You know what I'm saying?
We're a part of history right now. Straight up.
Yeah.
Straight up. We're a part of history. We got another comment. So
Yeah.
Karen says, this is the UK. Look at the happiest 10 countries in the world. They all have good social care, medical, and support system, and half are coalition governments. A little socialism is a good thing. The facts don't lie. Just because you think everyone deserves free medical, it does not mean that you're about to embrace Castro. Well, you know what, people, Americans don't deal with change very well. So you know, it's what it's what this country, you know, was founded on. This is why, like we said last week, you know, America is not a true democracy, because if it were a true democracy, Biden would be the president right now.
Yeah.
With the popular vote. And the reason that even back then, think about
this. If this was a democracy, Hillary would be the president right
this.
now.
True. Right. But think about back then in the 1700s. They were controlling then. You know what I'm saying? They were saying, oh no, because you know some states have more people, you know, we want to make it even, da 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 da. But it's a control factor. Mm-hmm. It truly is a control factor. And the fact that we're still dealing with this when the states have the power to do away with this.
Right.
But it would be too much control. It would be giving the people a voice, and that's what they don't want. Right. Why don't they want it? Because our voice is powerful. Right. People need to really understand. You need to look at all the institutions that they put in place to silence us. Why are they silencing us? That's what you need to look at. Right. And then we need to go from there and getting our voice heard. So Ivy says, Biden is speaking, Kamala is next to him, reassuring the people that votes are the only indicator of an election win. And that's true. You know, there's going to be a lot of huffing and puffing, you know, with this. And the fact that courts have to even be involved in an election is just mind-boggling to me.
He's peacocking. You know what I'm saying? He's peacocking. And the thing about it is, don't fall victim to it. Well, I mean, look at him as that pit bull that's been barking at you every day, all school year long, as you walk past that yard and barking and barking and barking. And that's the only way you can go until one day you realize that this dog has no teeth. Are you afraid of a dog that has no teeth?
What you say? The Godfather. What the Godfather look like? Puppets on the string.
I think we got it. Yeah.
Okay, so let's see. Karen says, we were discussing it earlier, and I think that people don't understand the sliding scale of political spectrum. A little left doesn't mean far left, and voting far left is just as scary. All extremes are terrifying. And Elena, did I say it right?
You got it right.
Okay. The Electoral College may be the greatest form of voter. Say it again for the cheap seats in the back. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. Yes, indeed. And then Karen says, actually, they counted black
slaves. She meant to say slaves.
Okay. Right. As 3/5 of a person to get the South on board. It was never meant to be a permanent or perfect system, and it was never meant to be for a two-party system.
Right.
And then Ivy says, Trump only knows when a litigation when he loses. It's but that's what they were saying. They were like, you know, he said that either he wins or they cheated. Not that, but the third option was I lost. There wasn't a third option.
Can we go back to Elena's comment right quick?
Sure.
Yeah. Right. That's on a level right there.
Exactly. You
know, they tell you have the right, and then they suppress you at the same time. Which one is
it? Exactly. I mean, it's there's power in numbers. I know that's a cliche, but it's true. I mean, in Florida, they were saying of, everything they did to suppress, the black vote down there and stuff. And, when people keep saying, oh, well, my vote doesn't matter, my voice doesn't matter, it does matter. This is why they're trying to suppress it. Because it matters. They want you to have that mindset. They want you to think that it doesn't matter. They want you to think that, oh, I'm just a number. But numbers are powerful.
Well, yeah, they are. But we're going back to the electoral college, and I would be really, really upset if the electoral college canceled out my vote. Here we go. Electoral college, Ivy says, is a black spasm. Yeah, it's a black spasm and a white spasm.
Oh yeah, it's a spasm. It's a spasm. Period. Because, sorry, it's flying book. Because if we were a true democracy, we wouldn't have to worry about if you win this state, you get this many votes. If you win this state, you get this many. But no, why can't it be that whatever the people choose, that's who we want?
Do you actually think that the powers that be will leave it up?
Heck no.
Correct.
That's why we still have it. That's why there's been so much back and forth about getting rid of it.
Right. Michigan is
yes.
in. No, she said Michigan is in.
Mm-hmm.
She didn't say it was a win or not.
Oh, she said we got it.
Oh, you got it?
She said we got it.
Oh, okay, cool.
We got it. Well, I mean, I figured that.
Pennsylvania, 253 to 213. Okay. I think Pennsylvania is key. Can we go back? Ken said something earlier. What did Ken say? Ken said something earlier. I don't know if you have it. Oh, I'm here, and this election told me a lot about this country. Ken, if possible, can you let us know?
Yeah, what did it tell you? What did it tell you? So, Elena says the illusion of freedom keeps us docile. It don't keep me docile. But I get what you're saying. I get what you're saying. Ken said it's a win. So Ken, what did you mean by your comment earlier when you said that what did he say? Did it surprise you? What did he say? He said, oh, that it told you a lot about this country. What did you feel like you learned a lot about this country?
And while we're waiting for him, I like what Elena said. And I think we're kind of congruent on this. The illusion of freedom keeps us docile. So it's freedom an illusion? Let's go back to the 40 acres and a mule. Okay. Let's go back to the 40 acres and a mule. When our ancestors walked away from slavery, were they free?
Say that again.
When our ancestors walked away from being enslaved, I guess they were supposed to get the 40 acres, $50 a mule. Mm-hmm. Were they free? Because for such a long period of time, there were so many things in which they had no knowledge of. So if you take people and you enslave them, and then you set them free in a capitalistic society, and they don't know how to do anything, were they really free? Going back to what Elena said, the illusion of freedom keeps us docile. So what do we now have to do? Do we have to start a civil war and take back what's ours? And I'm not talking about black people. I'm talking about all people,
Okay, so Ken said two things. He said if Biden wins Nevada, he wins the election. But he says, told me a lot of black votes were bought by those stimulus checks. And it told me that there are a lot more racist individuals in this country than I anticipated. Plus, it told me we're in an extremely selfish country. Yeah, we are selfish, but I truly believe that for all of that red that was on the map, it's easier to believe a mistruth than to believe a truth. Think about it. It's easier to believe all the bad stuff that's said about other people than to believe the actual truth about somebody that you put your faith in. That's crushing to a lot of people. You know? So think about all those people that put all their faith and trust in him or whatever. I can't believe that he would do these things. No. So let me believe everything that he says because that's easier for me. That's an easier pill for me to swallow. That other pill, that truth pill, I'm a choke on that. I can't swallow that. You agree? You disagree?
I'm with you. I'm looking at the comments. I'm with you.
Okay, so what's up, Allison? And then Karen says, I'm so worried how so many people vote hate. I'm not saying I'd have chosen Biden, but he's at least pretty middle of the road boring.
Yeah.
A vote for Trump. Well, well, it is what it is. And the fact that he flipped when I went to bed, the current administration was winning in Wisconsin big time. Well, I woke up this morning, he had flipped it, but that's because they had counted the black vote. Blacks voted big time in this election.
I think blacks always vote.
But I think they came out and they did say that Biden has the most votes of any president in U.S. history. He had more votes than Obama had back in 2008.
Gotcha.
So that's a lot of people voting. I mean, there was over 102 million early voters. That's unheard of.
I have a question for you.
Yes.
And hopefully we'll get some serious feedback. Does it go against principle for Christians to vote for Donald Trump?
Well, isn't he? Oh no, those are the evangelicals that support him. My bad.
Based on some of the things that he said, does it go against things which are moral and ethical? And does it go against principle? Can you be a Christian? I mean, you can be, and still vote your conscience and vote for him. Is that even possible?
Knowing what he believes and what he stands for. But my thing is this, how many times do we excuse the behavior? Oh, he was joking. Oh, he didn't mean that. This is the most powerful position in the United States. There has to be accountability there. And to always say, oh, he's joking. No. To say he didn't mean it. No. You're a grown man. You know what you're saying. I'm a grown woman. You're a grown man. You know what you're saying. You have to take responsibility. Okay, so Ivy says, you're assuming consistency in the definition of Christian principles. She on fire today. That part, Ivy. Exactly. Exactly. So it's I'm not surprised by this at all. My mother was like blowing my phone up last night. I had to put it on silent because I couldn't sleep. And I was like, Ma, give it time. I was like, there are a lot of votes to count. Give it time. And then, she was saying that people said that they were voting for Biden and they didn't. I said, Mommy, you can vote for whoever you want to vote for. But my thing is this. If he does win and takes away the healthcare and stuff, don't cry. Don't whine about it. Okay, so we got comments. So there are over 400 different denominations recognized as Christian. Folks can't even decide what the word means. And
you want me to read that right quick?
Yes, go ahead.
Elena Thomas, Romans 16, 17 through 18. This is being translated through the New International Version 17. I urge you, brothers and sisters, to watch out for those who cause division and put obstacles in your way that are contrary to the teachings you have learned. Keep away from them. 18. For such people are not serving our Lord Christ, but their own appetites. Be smooth talk and flattery. They deceive the minds of native people. I want to throw something in there right quick. And I
Go
like
ahead.
Iceberg Sweet Jones was a mentor of Iceberg Slim. And he said, you can always keep a hoe as long as you keep her confused. Right?
Oh.
So it says, by smooth talk and flattery, they deceive the minds of naive people. So we got a bunch of hoes always. Oh, in this house, we got.
I'm sorry, that was funny.
You know, and I know we got another comment, but watch this. Think about it. If it's unacceptable, it's unacceptable. You know, because had Barack Obama made those comments, and one thing you got to give him credit for is decorum, knowing what to say. And I'm pretty sure I've gotten on him to myself for not jumping in someone's butt for disrespecting him. When Joe Wilson said, you lie. See, that was an opportunity for him to say, you need to excuse yourself and I'll deal with you after this. I would have reversed it and put him on notice, right? But these folks are listening to this rhetoric and he's saying any and everything that he wants to say. And these folks are like,
eating it up.
They love it. They love it. But guess what? It speaks to the heart. Out of the, what is it? Out of the abundance of the heart, the mouth speaketh or confesses, you know?
All right, so let's see what Karen says. Why don't you go ahead and read that, Les?
Well, before that, Allison said, based on what Elena said, she said, this is what I was thinking. And then Karen said, what is mad is they set up the Electoral College instead of going with full democracy, because it's not, because they were worried that a 1700 layman wouldn't understand politics.
Oh,
still don't understand. I have a question. Should you have to prove you understand? Yes, you should. Should you have to prove you understand politics to be able to vote? No, I'm sorry. I jumped the gun. I'm not sure. It's a question Brexit has brought up here. People believing lying politician fantasies call into question the whole concept of democracy and one person, one vote. I think Ken just gave me a compliment.
He did. Ken said less than a while. And Ivy says, Iceberg Slim. Yes, you can always keep a hoe. You can keep a hoe confused.
Look, let's go back. Before we get into Yolanda.
What Yolanda said. Okay, hold on, Yolanda. Go ahead.
Let's go back to something. If you've ever read the book Pimp by Robert Beck, Iceberg Slim, Sweet Jones was telling Iceberg Slim that once, and I'm talking in this term, once you turn a trick out, you don't, and you're used to her, you no longer need her anymore. You just don't let her go, because then she's going to go to the police and bring heat on you. What you do is you pump her full of heroin, shoot her up full of heroin, right? And then you hang her over the balcony. You dangle her over the balcony. So when she comes out of it, after she comes out of being high, she's now lying over, she's hanging out over the balcony. So she's discombobulated. You know what I'm saying? So can you imagine coming off a high like that and you're upside down over a balcony? So therefore she's lost her mind. She's crazy. She's confused. Are we not hanging over? Excuse me. Are some people not hanging over that balcony right now? Because this is what he's done to them. And he's still doing it. Even to the point that he went on prematurely and said that they won the election. But his boy, Fly Guy, you know what Fly Guy is, right?
Phil McConnell?
No, Fly Guy, the fly on his head.
Pimp. Oh.
Fly Guy did not support him on that one. He did not back him. He was premature with that. Go ahead. I'm sorry. I think Yolanda said something.
Okay.
Want me to read that?
Yep.
I think people, Yolanda Brown, I think people can still say they're Christians, but people are always twisting the Bible to mean what fits their points and views. The slave masters and KKK members were regular churchgoers and Bible-toting people.
Good point, Yolanda. They were. Yep, they fit it. Yeah, you're right. They twisted to fit their narrative. You know, it's what they do. So, um, so okay, wait a minute. So Ivy says Christianity has been used as a weapon against those who think for themselves since the beginning of time, and don't come for me on this one. I'm ordained. Oh, okay.
If I hope Elena's still on because I want her to throw a comment on this. I mean, is Donald Trump giving Christianity a bad name? Even worse than when George Bush was calling himself a Christian as well. But in 2018, okay, watch this. In 2018, my father voted for Trump. Franklin Graham responds to an anti-Trump op-ed.
Okay.
Billy Graham voted for Donald Trump. And this is supposed to be the father of evangelism. They say he didn't converted more people to Christianity than Jesus himself.
Well, I think a lot of people just aren't. The one thing that's missing in a lot of people is common sense, in my opinion. I mean, it's not that complicated. I mean, people don't want to read.
People don't read.
People don't want to research. They don't want to find out the truth. I'm telling you, that truth pill, a lot of people are going to choke on that. They can't swallow it. So Ivy said, how he's not a Christian. Trump attends the church of what he believes. And then Karen says, everyone knows Trump is not a Christian. He's not God-fearing. He only fears prison and being a loser. I mean, this is going to be extremely interesting because even, let's just say by the end of tonight, hypothetically, if Biden gets to 270, when is that actually going to be when are we actually going to believe that? Do we have to go through all of these recounts and this, that, and the other? I think he wanted to recount in Wisconsin, but he'd have to wait 10 days from today in order for that to happen.
Well, here's the thing. Let him have a recount, right? By January, he got to go anyways, right? My question is, if he does win, what happens to Black America? Well, what happens to America? What happens to Black America?
Well, if he doesn't win, are we going to see another civil war? Because several militia groups, several other groups have said if he doesn't win, that they're coming. So, what does that mean? You know, that's why we said, you know, where do we go from here?
Right.
You know, what do you guys think?
Right. Ivy said something about Pennsylvania. What about
Pennsylvania, Ivy? You know, I want to know what you guys think. If Biden wins, where do we go? And if Trump wins, you know, where do we go? This is going to be interesting. And I'm actually surprised that I didn't get upset. Like today, I've been watching it today. This is calm. Like I wasn't, and I guess, like I said, you know, I was expecting it, so I wasn't tripping. I wasn't emotional. Oh, recount.
Recount Pennsylvania?
For what? Doesn't he still have the lead, y'all? The last I knew, he had over 500,000 votes ahead of Biden.
In Pennsylvania?
That was the last time I saw. He plans to get a recount there.
Why?
Well, this is my thing. How how devastating is it going to be when you get a recount and it's the same results? That's like then okay, so you get a recount. So then what? You gonna go to court next? I mean, the Supreme Court already ruled, on this. How many times are we gonna take this? You can't keep taking people to court because you don't get the outcome or the answer that you want.
Well, I mean, he does have the Supreme Court on his side, right?
Listen,
let me say this. Underestimate nobody. We've already seen it. I think one of the reasons why people didn't get too emotional about this, because we saw what happened the last time. You go to sleep, Hillary's winning, wake up, she lost, right?
mm-hmm.
So we're not falling for that anymore. We're not falling for the banana in the tailpipe no more. I mean, a lot of us were like, okay, if he wins, all right, 4 more years. I mean, I didn't get emotional about it at all.
Mm-mm. Because my thing is this: if he wins, you wanted him, you got him. Don't complain about nothing that he does, because then I'm pretty sure if he gets it, they're definitely going to repeal the ACA. There is no plan. They keep saying that they're not going to get rid of pre-existing conditions, but you've had 4 years to come up with something.
There's no plan.
I know that. I know that. But these wackos think that there is a plan. Well, there is one. He said he wasn't going to get rid of. Okay, but what is the plan? You have to have something in place. I mean, I don't want to say that you can't just repeal the healthcare, because you can. So when all of you folks in you're right, Allison. Allison said that the election is like a dog and pony show. So when all of you folks in the middle who rely on ACA and you don't make a certain amount of money, and then you don't have health care anymore, and then they're trying to get rid of Medicare too, then what?
Right. The election, Allison, I like what Allison said. The election is like a dog and pony show. It's also bread and circus. Okay. Referring to superficial appeasement. That's all it is. And we haven't even seen it yet. We haven't even seen it. I think we got 2 comments coming in.
Yep. Elena.
All religions and belief systems have and can be used to control people. White Christians have a great deal to atone for. Many have yet to acknowledge the sin of racism, though more are starting to. Whoa. Karen says he says he won, and the next sentence was, it was a fraud, having his cake and eating it right here. Okay, let's go back. I like what Elena said. I like both comments. I like what Allison said in terms of the dog and pony show. You're absolutely right, and a lot of people need to look at it like that. I like what Elena had to say. Yeah, there has to be some atonement. And you do see a lot of white people who are now, acknowledging it. And that's a lot of atonement that needs to be done.
Man.
I mean, that's a lot of atonement. And, having his cake and eat it too. I've never had a problem with someone wanting to have their cake and eat it too. Okay. The problem with having your cake and eat it too is when you invite everybody else to the party and you cut up pieces of cake and you pass them out, yet you take them back because you want their cake. If you want to have your cake and eat it too, don't invite nobody to the party. You know what I'm saying? Have your own cake. He now wants to have his cake. He doesn't even want your cake. You know what I'm saying? He just don't want you to have it. Because the only thing you're going to do is you ever been somewhere and you're eating something and somebody want it, and before you finish it, you don't want it all, you throw it in the trash can so they won't have it. That's some selfish shit. You know what I'm saying?
Well, I mean, we are, this is a selfish country. And like I said last week, I couldn't understand, when people travel and they ask you where you're from and you say America and they look at you with disgust. I get it.
Yeah.
Like, I get it. This country is selfish and arrogant. The arrogance of this country is like, bruh, you can't touch me.
Is it arrogance or is it ignorance? Or is it fear?
Um,
Because you can't be. I don't think you can be arrogant coming from this country anymore. It's
no,
not.
no, you're right. I think for seeing what's happened, I think it's more so ignorance that comes off as arrogance.
Mhm.
Um, and um, it's just I've asked several people that support the current president, why do you support him? And I cannot get a straight answer. I can't get outside of the economy. I can't get a straight answer. I can't. You can't tell me some of the policies, how, if you're a middle class average citizen, how him being in office has helped you. I don't want to hear from the rich because I get that. If you are a middle class person and you support him, tell me how he has made your life better. Tell me how this administration has made your life better. Like, give me something that I can dissect and be like, okay, well, I can see why.
Right.
I've yet for someone to be able to do that.
Um,
Um,
before we get into that one, um, I, I'll read it. I want to go back to what Karen said earlier. She said, "Should you have to prove you understand politics to be able to vote?" That's interesting because now it's going to require that you have some level of intelligence with you or about you. Because if you're just voting, why are you voting for? Because I like him. You know what I'm saying? Because he's going to build the wall. You know, before you vote, you should have to you should have to explain at least 3 or 4 of his policies or anybody's policies. You know, because I think a lot of people are voting more personality than they are policy.
right. And we didn't even talk about the pandemic. If he gets in for another 4 years, how many more people are going to die? How many more people are going to die? Like, straight up. Because in his mind, we're rounding the corner, but we're about to come into the worst of the pandemic. So we didn't even touch that. Um, I'll let them chew on that for a minute. Ivy says far too many Christians want to justify their support of Trump while hiding behind abortion and the LGBTQ plus conversations. They don't care about values. They care about party politics and issues that don't affect them at all. And then Elena says, what we really need to start questioning are the hidden systems. Oh, tell me why the Federal Reserve isn't federal government related. What did she say? Well, we didn't require an understanding of politics to be elected.
Look, we got to start somewhere, right? Um, let's go back to what Elena says. You know what I'm saying? You know, tell me why the Federal Reserve isn't federal government regulated. Well, what we really need to start questioning are the hidden systems. Well, we talked last week about what your boy Samuel Jackson said in Boondocks.
There are no knowns and there are no unknowns.
You
Things
know,
that you
no,
know.
unknown. You don't know. So a lot of people don't even understand that. You know, what is the hidden systems? Going back to the Godfather, they're dangling. Two hands.
Puppets.
Puppet. Speaking of that, for those who are interested, Barnes and Noble, all 3 Godfathers, 1, 2, and 3, $12.
What?
Yeah, I'm getting mine Friday.
Are you serious?
Yes.
Okay.
Already ordered
Okay.
it.
I know that's Scarface.
Let me tell you something. The Godfather and The Wire.
Um. Okay, so I wanna talk about Ocoee, Florida. I don't know if people know about the there was a massacre It happened over 100 years ago in Ocoee, Florida. And it happened on election night. So, yep, there was a black man, trying to get his name. Basically, he went to go vote. He was registered, he went to go vote. Of course, he was stopped. So they ran him away. When he came back later, he was in a car and he had a pistol in the car and he went to go vote. They ran him away again. Well, the whites were really upset that this nigger pretty much had the audacity to come and vote. So they went looking for him and they went to his best friend's house, who they tried to intimidate. But of course, back then, black folks was packing. So he ran them off of his land, but then the police show up and arrest the black guy, take him to jail. The white mob.
Hold on. I'm not laughing at you, right? But Alex just said, Scarface, an Italian acting like a Cuban, wanted to be an Italian.
So the mob broke into the jail and kidnapped the guy's best friend. And of course, they killed him. That started a riot. They burned so many homes and killed so many blacks on election night because all they wanted to do was vote. This isn't new. This isn't new, y'all.
Let me ask you a question. If you were going to vote right now in 2020, and they told you, if you go cast your vote, I'm killing you and your family, would you do it?
That's a good question. Let me put Karen's up while I think about it. Thank you, Pumpkin. She's in the UK, so she's 7 hours ahead of us.
We appreciate that.
Thank you, Karen. Get some sleep.
Would you vote?
Honestly, I don't know. I don't know.
I wouldn't be a martyr.
I don't know.
I wouldn't be a martyr. That's something I wouldn't do. If you're threatening me not to vote.
But if our ancestors had taken that, if they'd have taken that attitude, we wouldn't have the right that we do today. So,
Yeah.
If that was the case, being in 2020,
thank you, Ivy. Yeah.
I'd have to leave the country. I wouldn't be able to stay here.
I got you.
Where she is, Ken, is 7 because I chat with her. But thank you. Where she is 7 hours. But at least that's what she told me. Ivy says, because who would I be voting for? No, that's the house phone, baby. Okay. Sorry, grandbaby. But
organic podcast.
Yes, exactly. The baby was leaving me. So I wouldn't be able to stay here. Because if you want to kill me just because I want to vote, why do I need to be here? Because we have the means. I mean, now it's 2020. We have the means to pick up and go elsewhere.
Right.
It's not like it was back in the day. If we. So Ivy says, I agree, Nikki, but look what where their sacrifice put us: voting rights, no life rights.
Yeah. I mean, I tell people all the time, and I'm not discouraging people from voting, but what are we voting for? Because it's 2020, and look what we're talking about. It's right here. Eradicate black spasms. eradicate black spasms. You know,
I got my button, Ivy. See my button? Sorry, y'all. But yeah.
I mean, why are we still talking about like voter suppression? We have $1,200 iPhones. You know, we have technology out of this world. We have technology that we don't even know about yet.
Why do we have to leave our house to vote?
Yeah.
Think about it. Like, if your government, you have a cat card, right? And the cat card it's a card and it has a chip in it. It can't be hacked, right? Why can't they have something similar to that where you go, you don't even have to leave. You put it in your computer, type it in, vote who you want to vote for, and call it a day. Then you wouldn't have to worry about poll watching. You wouldn't have to worry about people, counting votes and this, that, and the other. Everything would be automated and telemated. But then,
how long would the election process take with your idea? How long would it take
to implement it?
No. If you implemented that, right? How long would it take for everyone to, you say, okay, everyone cast their vote? How much time would you give them to vote? A couple of days?
Couple of what?
Days?
Whatever time.
Would the process be as long as it is now?
No.
There's your problem. How much money is being raised? This is capitalism at its finest. How many people actually wait in line or used to wait in line for that new iPhone? Apple, one of the greatest marketing schemes ever. They are tantalizing. They'll put something out there, throw a commercial, knowing they're not going to release the product till at least 6-8 months. Now you got people standing online for 2 days just to get that new phone. So they're creating it. So if they're telling people, people say, well, if voting didn't count, why are they trying to suppress it, right? Mm-hmm. Because when you tell certain ego-driven folks that they can't do something, they're going to try to prove you wrong. Mm-hmm. You're not going to take away my vote. I'm standing in line. You know what I'm saying? I don't care if it takes me 3 hours. I don't care if it takes me 8 hours. I'm standing in line and I'm going to vote. And I hope that works out for them. But that system that you're talking about, putting that card in, hitting that button, it's done. You don't need to hire thousands of people to count votes. But guess what? It's all about money.
Exactly.
Ain't a damn thing funny. You gotta have a con.
And this land milk and honey.
Got you.
Ivy said 24 hours. And then she says, and they ain't for that, losing too much money without a TV time. Exactly. I mean, look at the problem is with that approach that it would create a disadvantage with older citizens who aren't tech savvy. Listen.
Shit, by the time they do that, you're not gonna have nobody that's not tech savvy. And if you're not listen, if you're not tech savvy in this day and age, you're considered a troglodyte.
But you know what? The system, the way that I just said it, that would be so that it would be a device that everybody would have, right? Not a computer, it'd be a little device that everybody would have. You put your card in, but it would do it in a way where you don't need the internet because you don't want people to be able to hack into that. Now I ain't figured out the rest of it, but what I'm saying is that
you mean, so you're saying provide that for everybody, right?
Exactly.
Socialism.
But it would cut out. It would save
socialism
to provide everybody a way to vote.
It cuts into capitalism. Ivy said it best. Losing too much money without TV time and campaigning. That's how they get their money.
That's the problem. Is that this country? I know we're a capitalist society. I get that, but I'm sick of it. I'm sick of money meaning more than lives. We're in the middle of a fucking pandemic. There are over 230,000 people dead, and nobody gives a damn about that.
You must be speaking from an empath perspective.
Yeah.
How many empaths are out here? It's a lot of. How many people aren't empaths?
I mean, you know, I think a lot of people know at least one person that COVID has touched.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. And it's not going to get any better. It's going to get worse before it gets better. And even if we do get let's say hypothetically we get a vaccine in January, how much is it going to cost? Who's going to get it? And are they going to make it so high that people can't afford it? Especially if they take away your health care. Like all of this matters, people. Like you can't think of like right now. You have to look at down the road. You know, this is like you almost have to like problem solve. And I know a lot of people weren't really good with problem solving and word problems and things of that nature in school, but all of this stuff matters. It matters a lot. You know, so when we get to, 300,000 or 400,000 dead, is it going to be a, oh well? They should have taken better care of themselves.
You taking into consideration population control?
Mm-hmm.
Do you actually think they care about what we're talking about here?
Listen, I've been saying this from the beginning. The right person hasn't died yet. And I mean that. The right person hasn't died yet. If a particular person, I'm not wishing on anybody. What I'm saying is, if a particular person that means something to somebody in charge dies, that's when it affects certain people a certain way. That's when change starts to happen. That's what I mean by that. I'm not. Please don't misunderstand what I'm saying, people.
No. I got 2 comments. I think 3 comments. I think are necessary. Want me to read it?
Mm-hmm.
All right. Allison says, so the government provides a device that would allow voters to vote from their homes. Who is to say the government won't preload it or make it not work?
Good point. Good point. This is why we're talking about it.
Right. Elena says, it doesn't matter to the people in power.
Right.
Right. And it probably won't die.
Let's go. Well, I mean, I'm not saying that. What I'm saying is like somebody, and I'm not saying him. What I'm saying is, if when we had that big outbreak in the White House, and let's just say like the press secretary, like if she got deathly sick and was on a ventilator or whatever, then would it matter? That what I'm saying is that until it affects that small group to the point where someone either dies or gets deathly sick, then that's when it's going to start mattering. Then it's going to be like, oh crap, let me open my eyes. This is what people are actually going through. And I could be wrong. Be wrong because this election has shown how selfish this country really is. I mean, it's all about self. And I'm waiting for the violence to start because I know it's coming. I'm waiting for it to start.
The violence has already started.
Where?
George Floyd.
I mean, yeah, I know that.
Well, that's what I'm saying.
Talking about the Civil War.
Like I said, it's already started. What did Elena say? Oh, Ivy said the White House COVID outbreak was BS. Herman Cain died and he was on their side.
But he was black, so he don't count.
Don't count.
He don't count.
Look,
I hate to say that.
he knew years ago when he took this position that, Herman, we'll give it to you, but you got to know when it's your time and your turn. And
Mm-hmm.
it's his turn.
I said all politicians are in the same boat. They're all gold line pockets, have no care for all those. Oh yeah, definitely. Elena Thomas and they
Yeah.
didn't. Nope, they sure didn't. They didn't, Yolanda.
Not for what?
It's never dead black man.
Another one bites the dust. Dun, dun, dun. Another one bites the dust. It was his time to go. But he knew he was getting into. Even if what's his face died, Uncle Ruckus. Not Uncle Ruckus. You know what I'm talking about, right?
You talking about Clarence Thomas?
Ben Carson. And
Oh,
Ben Carson dies. You know, he's such a big disappointment. I mean,
him, Clarence Thomas.
how you go from Healing Hands to HUD? You know what I'm saying?
Stick to what you know, people. Stick to what you know.
Stop taking those promotions. You're not ready for it.
Hey, all money ain't good money.
Says who? Yeah. Said to a person in poverty. Said to a person who can't pay their bills.
Well, I've been there before, and I wouldn't take money from certain people.
I mean,
I still made it.
And some people have a conscience. We're dealing with a unconscious society. Let's take a lot of those. Have you seen on Facebook where they have people walk around and they interview Trump people?
Mm-hmm.
You know what I'm saying? Color folks talk about save me. Wasn't nothing wrong with
slavery.
We got good food back then. Have you ever seen those Facebook commercials where the guy's walking around and he's asking questions about Donald Trump and and these folks clearly don't understand policy.
Mm-hmm. Or they'll ask him about something when Trump wasn't even in office.
Yeah.
And then, and then they'll be like, "Oh yeah," and it's like, but he wasn't in office then.
Right, oh, here's one for you. We need to get rid of Obamacare. But they have the ACA. It's the same thing.
Man, listen, when I heard that, I laughed for about 10 minutes. And I'm just like, that goes to show you how ignorant common sense, because people don't read. Like, seriously, people have got to educate themselves. There's nothing better than knowing the truth for yourself, because then you're not hoodwinked and bamboozled into believing any and everything that comes your way.
Yeah.
So
all politicians are in the same boat. They are all gold lined pockets, have no care for all those who are in this country. I know we read that earlier. I just saw it again. Listen, I think we need to look at the word poly.
Break it down for him. Wait,
what does poly mean?
Have you seen the Americans? No, they were built for the election. It was a highway. It was a waist-high cement barricade with polywood attached and painted to look like cement. Hey, they using our money.
Yeah.
Like it ain't nothing. Like it ain't nothing.
You can't go to jail for stealing knowledge.
There you go, Darius. You really cannot. You really cannot.
Okay.
You really can't. So yeah. Whew. So Darius, how you feeling about everything, Darius?
Well, the deck said that's actually incorrect.
What? What's wrong?
Right. Poly means many, yes. Right. I like poly means many, correct. Right. The deck said that's actually incorrect.
Dex, what's incorrect? Tell us what's incorrect. So Ken says, okay, y'all, going with me. Oh, okay, that's right. We'll walk with you.
Walk on.
We'll walk with you.
Yeah.
I'm gonna be smoking on your walk, so go on and walk, Ken.
Dex said, I like that. They are actually building the inaugural stage. Got to be more careful. And that's
Ooh.
a hint and a half for your ass. Man, let me tell you something. If that is the case, the inaugural stage for who? Dex?
For who, Dex? Just in general, or do they have something else planned? Because that's not until January. So why would they start now?
Avoid the rush.
Okay, he says the fencing is the only bill. Oh, for okay.
Okay. Okay.
Oh, in general. Okay, in general. Okay. I got you.
Does he need an inauguration if he wins? Do you need to?
Every every term you have to. Didn't Obama get a second one? Wasn't he inaugurated the second time?
Nah, I don't think so.
Yeah, because your term is only for 4 years. That's why we have the election.
I'm talking about the parade.
Oh, I don't know. That part I don't know. I just remember Michelle in the green coat the first time. I don't know. So Dex says yeah. So Dex, so you get so there's a second. So there'll be a second inaugural parade. Mm-hmm. This is my cigar is acting up. I know, just a big old party. Another waste of taxpayers' money. Politics. I call it polydicking. Poly meaning dicking. So Dex says whoever is sworn in will have a parade.
45 is tweeting crazy right now.
I say Joe should skip it, put the party money back into the people. And you know what? He might do that. I don't know. I mean, all we're doing is guessing, at this point. So,
Yeah, I think they want to have a party because they want to rub that in the current administration's face if we win.
Well, before it gets dark, I I want to talk about my pairing. Remember we talked about spirits? I got me a book to pair. It's by trying not to box his name up. Tanahashi. Sorry, Coach Lex. Not Lex. Les, we lost you again. It's called Between the World and Me, and it's about a father who is writing a letter to his adolescent son about American history and the exploits that blacks have gone through. Hang on, here comes Les again.
You know what? I do that every time.
What are you doing? So
HTW, no, HTWDB. Hitting the wrong damn button all the time. I'm not touching nothing no more.
No worries. So I got this book, and the first chapter was like, I was like, wow. So it's definitely one of those things, one of those, remember Arsenio used to say things and make it go, That's what this book is. Um it's and I got my glasses, y'all. I can finally see again. Lord, thank you, Jesus. Hallelujah.
Yeah, I was looking at it. I thought it was a fashion statement.
Nah, man, listen. I'm not blind, but my vision was starting to get blurry. So now everything looks like it's in HD. so I'm good. So I'm good now. I can actually see words. I can read again. Woohoo! Um, but yeah, so guys, I want to know how y'all feeling right now. Y'all ain't really told me how y'all feeling. What's going on with the numbers? Can you guys fill us in? I think Ivy said it was like what is it, 250 something to 213 before?
I think he's a couple minutes away, a couple points away from WPT winning this thing.
Yeah, but well, the current, what you think he'll concede?
No, he's not going to concede. Would you concede if you was insecure? Would you concede? Would you let go? I mean, if your life was dependent on something, you know what I'm saying? Would you hold on to dear life?
Well, my question is, if they prove it and he doesn't concede, does that mean
Cautious
that
optimism.
he just has to wait his term out and then on the 21st, Joe gets sworn in?
Not sure. I hope.
Okay.
If he wins.
Okay, Dex said, would like to address something you stated earlier regarding Civil War. Keep in mind, 45 base was already discussing Civil War if Trump lost. Last check, Biden 264, Trump 214. Wow.
Right.
If he wins Nevada, he gets 270.
Got you. If Joe Biden wins and Donald Trump doesn't want to leave, right? Joe Biden should get a sign that says, "You ain't got to go home. You gotta get out of
You
here."
stupid. Oh my goodness. How close is Nevada, Ken? Like, when I say close, you know, they generally say like how many percentage wise, how many votes have been counted. Smoke got my eyes tearing up. That's what I want to know. We're gonna have to wrap this up in a minute because the sun's starting to go in and it'll be dark.
We got some interesting watch. Good Lord Bird. Not all historical about white abolitionist John Brown. Okay. Good Lord Bird. All right.
Have I seen that? That sounds familiar. Thank you, Elena. Good Lord Bird. I have to watch that. Elena, another good one to watch on Peacock if you have it is Black Boys. So Ken says
You ain't gotta go home, but you gotta get the hell out of here. Speed on before you get peed on. You know?
Yeah, this has been, really, really interesting. Tomorrow is going to be another interesting day because I think more of the votes, start to come in overnight, and things of that nature. I was actually surprised that there wasn't a winner when I woke up this morning, but that was also encouraging because I was like, okay, so this is anybody's fight. Now I know going to bed, if you were a Democrat and you were looking at certain states, you were like, okay, we good. And you wake up in the morning like, oh my goodness. Yeah, it's really good, Elena.
We got some history. Cori Bush, a progressive community leader and veteran Black Lives Matter activist, won a House seat in Missouri, becoming the state's first Black woman to represent the state in Congress, according to CNN projections.
Cool.
Dex said 49, Nevada 49%, Biden 48%.
75. Okay. 75%. Okay. Gotcha. All right. Well, I was actually kind of glad that, we came on today because, it's our normal day anyway.
75% reported in Nevada, but is pointing towards Biden. Listen, before you say that, Nikki,
Mhm.
if Joe Biden wins along with Kamala Harris, Black people need to hold them accountable.
All day.
Don't let nothing slip through the cracks whatsoever.
All day.
It-
If he wins, this is truly a chance for change. And my mom was like, yeah, but if he wins, you're still gonna have a Republican Senate. She said it's gonna be like, with Obama. I said, wait, the big difference between Joe Biden and Obama is that Obama was black. And I'm not being facetious when I say that. Joe is a unifier. Joe has worked with McConnell and all of them. And I told my mom, and this is probably just me being hopeful, but I think he can. You got to look at if Biden does win, you won't have that rhetoric in your ear. Okay, so Republicans who wanted to speak out before but were afraid of the tweet storm and this, that, and the other, maybe now we can get back to getting some shit done. But that's just me being hopeful. So Dex says, how do you do that? Yolanda says, word.
Mhm.
All politicians are liars to a point. I agree. Absolutely hold them accountable, no doubt. Definitely,
I think, and if I'm wrong, Dex, correct me. He said, how do you do that? Are you speaking to how do we keep them accountable? And that's a good question. How do you hold someone at that level accountable?
Or is he talking about unifying them? How do you do that too?
Yeah. All politicians are liars to a point. Polly, you know what I'm saying? More than one, and Ken says absolutely hold them accountable, no doubt. And Dex was confirming what I said. How do we hold them accountable? I think hopefully Black people have learned from their last encounter with Barack Obama. I think Black people were more caught up in the fact that a person of their skin tone or their hue was in that office and they did not hold him accountable. We have no room for error. And when I say we, but at the same time, who are we? I mean, we can stand out in front of the White House and, all day long and scream and shout, but the elected officials, the politicians, or a friend of mine says politricks, say one thing and do the other. So, how do we hold someone that you can't touch accountable?
So Yolanda said, I said in a post earlier today, just because you voted doesn't mean your job is done.
Mm-hmm.
And Dex says, accountability. How do you hold them accountable once in office, already elected?
You can't. Gotcha, bitch. It's kind of like that joke. What did Abraham Lincoln say after he woke up from that hangover?
I haven't heard this one. What?
I freed who? You know what I'm saying? I freed who? Gotcha, bitch.
You stupid. Well,
yeah, don't flip flop on us, man. You know what I'm saying? Don't cherry pick. Don't flip flop on us.
Yeah. Well, hey, all you AKAs, y'all need to hold your girl accountable, man.
Yeah.
Hold her accountable. Y'all
not in the Black community for real. You know
y'all ski me that.
Hey, ski weed, don't ski. All right.
So Dex says, but you can vote out those locals that come around. That's true.
Yeah.
That's true. Yeah. So Yolanda Greek too. She like that. I'm saying though, that was one of her things that Ken says less is once a day.
Oh, skeet.
That was that was one of the things, for HBCU, and she's AKA and this, that, and the other. Hey, my aunt's an AKA, my cousin's an AKA, one of my girlfriends is an AKA, and I'm talking to y'all. Hold her accountable.
I'm AKA. Also known as.
Yes.
Let's Bird Slim. Yeah.
We ain't right today, y'all. We ain't right. Hey, listen, we on here having fun. We just want to give y'all something to think about, something to laugh at, or whatever.
Listen, if anyone wants a Eradicate Black Spasms button, all right, of course, we do require a donation. We will handle shipping and handling. They're $10 for 2, right? If you want, go offline, or you can, hit us up and we'll mail those out to you. So
or if you want a shirt,
got it.
Hold up, I'm about to put it up. About to put it up there. Go to Linktree / Black Spasms and hit our store.
Hard.
Yes. It is. It'll take you directly to our store. You can order that. It's everything. They got everything on it. They got bags and pillows and shirts and hoodies and all kinds of stuff. So,
but we know what we need though. We need for you to hit the website, give us your Black Spasm story, because everyone's got one. We need that. We are building our platform. We're building our base. We're building our website. We need those stories to go out, because your story is going to touch somebody's life. Get an Eradicate Spasms button. Wear that. You know what I mean? Get the T-shirts. Yeah, Nikki cold blooded today. Yeah, cold blooded.
Yeah, girl, I'm outside. Real funny, Allison, since you in freaking Texas, whatever, man.
Hey, don't mess with Texas.
But I'm still getting my smoke on, girl.
Uh-oh. Are you investing? Okay. Hey, man, be careful investing.
Exactly. No, sis, we want you guys to go to blackspasms.org and submit your story. I submitted mine. Ivy submitted hers. Another young lady submitted, her story. Just go in there and read the stories. And
let's overwhelm Ivy with this. You know what I'm saying?
Yes. Give her something to do.
500 stories. You know what I'm saying?
Give her something to do. Love you too, Allison.
Hey, Allison, you ain't mentioned my name not one time.
He getting jealous, Allison.
I know I don't know how to pronounce her last name, but you didn't know that until I just said it. Are you related to Megan Trainor? But no, yeah, we show the support. Black lives do matter. Black spasms are real. We're trying to do our best to eradicate these black spasms. If Joe Biden wins, we got some work to do.
Some serious work to do.
Yeah. Hey, it's because of Northern Virginia. All right.
That's right. That's right. Yeah. Fairfax County represented. Yeah. My mother, Yolanda, my mother was she was just like, she sent me a text. She said, "What the hell is wrong with Virginia?" I said, "Mommy, give it time. Guaranteed." I said, "Biden will get Virginia." But DC showed up. Biden won DC by 95%.
The Democrats will always win DC.
I know. But they showed their ass.
10 years from now. Then they can go red.
They showed their ass. They showed their ass.
He disrespected Bowser. You know what I'm saying? He dogged her, Yeah, so they had no choice,
But
I'm still waiting for Allison to give me a shout out. It hasn't happened yet.
He says,
needs a big hug.
Huh? Okay, I'm coming, baby. All right.
Yeah,
that's my
Yeah, Allison said, "Let me big hugs."
Yes. All right, y'all. I gotta go because the grandbaby need me. I gotta go inside. So, and plus it's getting dark. I'm coming, baby.
Thank you, Allison. Look, I want to personally say thank everybody for coming on.
Y'all can stay on. I'll be right back. Go ahead.
Thank everyone for coming on. We appreciate it. Thank you, Allison.
Appreciate it.
Yolanda. And back here in Virginia, where I'm from, is Trump land. Yolanda, I was in Wise, Virginia a couple of weeks ago, and I've never been there before. It was really Trump country, you know, and I was there in the Walmart that I went to. There were only 3 blacks, and the first black person that I saw in Walmart was a cutout of the Baltimore Ravens quarterback, you know, myself and someone else. So I understand what you're saying. So we thank everyone for the support. We appreciate it, Brooks. Thank you for the comments. Ivy, Allison, everybody. Hopefully I didn't miss anyone. Yolanda, Darius, Tim. You know, we appreciate that. You know, go online, get your merchandise, support Black Spasms, eradicate Black Spasms, get your story in so we can get Ivy, put Ivy to work.
Yes,
you know,
indeed.
So
thank you guys so much for watching. We appreciate the love, the support. Y'all make sure y'all check out my girl Yolanda's podcast, Yo Facts. It's on Spotify, Apple, Google. Yolanda, put in the comments real quick where they can check your podcast out. We all about supporting each other, y'all. We have to support each other. So we will be watching the election closely. We'll be back on Wednesday. Thank you, Ken. Ken says great show. We'll be back on Wednesday to talk about. That's right. Yo, facts. Put in the comments, babe, the different places that that the podcast is on, so they can so they can follow you.
Yeah, thank you, Ken. Appreciate that.
Oh yeah. All right, y'all. I think I'm gonna go ahead. But we're gonna go ahead and go because it's getting dark. So he says, "Can I plug my podcast though?" Yeah, go ahead. Put it in the comments. So Yolanda is on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. So check her out.
Mm-hmm.
And oh no, Elena is blank. What was you gonna say? You're welcome, sis. That's my girl. I love you. So Elena, what was you saying, baby? It came up blank. I don't know what does Elena have a podcast too? Podcast Central, y'all. So Ken, just put it in the comments, what the name of your podcast is and where people can follow you. Go to Linktree /Backspasms, and please subscribe to our YouTube page. You can watch this on our YouTube page, subscribe to it, share it with everybody, have them subscribe. So all the videos that we do here live are on YouTube, they're on Twitter, and they're on Facebook. So plenty of ways to watch it. So Ken says the No Spots podcast on Spotify, Apple Podcasts, Google Podcasts, and Anchor. Awesome. Selena says, I was just saying, great job. Okay. Okay, got you. Up in the thing. All right. Thank you guys so much for watching. Listen, I love y'all from the bottom of my heart. This is organic. This is just our opinions, and we appreciate your input. We appreciate your support. We appreciate you commenting and interacting with us. This is a different type of podcast. It's not just us talking. Like we said from the beginning, we want to hear from you. If there's something that you want us to talk about, hit me up, hit Les up, and we'll go ahead and, and put a show together about it. So you good, Ken? You got Ken. Lord have mercy. We didn't say this name so many times. You good? You good, Les? You got any last words?
Stay black.
Okay.
Remember, those Black Spasms are coming for you.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Exactly. All right, y'all.
All right.
Peace.